Not outside today, raining. I ain't been on here for a minute. Just want to come on here, teach something real quick. I've been getting into the business of reading things slow. And in reading things slow, I gain more understanding. So check me out. Let me read this word to you. Deceive. I'm going to read it from the dictionary. Deliberately cause someone to believe something that is not true, especially for personal gain. That's what deceive means. So if somebody is trying to get something for you for their personal gain, that's deception. And to me, what I'm starting to learn is the spiritual world is a either or, a this or that, you know, and it's either this or it's that. It can't be both ways. And so deliberately cause someone to believe something that is not true. So let's just say you are in a marriage, and let's just say you got married to a person, and you married these person, and y'all said y'all vows, and y'all said y'all was gonna do this thing the right way, and y'all want to build a family together, y'all want to be a power couple, y'all had all these big dreams. And then you get the bread, and then everything changes. Everything changes because sometimes you get so high, you forget who got you up there. And then it all come falling down. Or it might not fall all the way, but it come halfway. To deceive. But let's just say after 10 years of marriage, you find out your husband or wife got a whole nother family on the other side of town. And those trips out of town that he was taking or she was taking, those trips were meant to go spend with the family. It was never any business, nothing like that. Like that person just go over there and spend time with the other family. And then you find out that this person got two like families and they live in a double life. You would be deceived. You'd be like, whoa, hold on. Let me read that definition to you. Deliberately cause someone to believe something that is not true, especially for personal gain. The how it's used in a sentence. Let's read that. I didn't intend to deceive people into thinking it was French champagne. How y'all doing? So we're talking about the word deceive. So like it's a okay, and being a man, we in the last couple decades have been made to put up with stuff that don't make no sense. Not even as a man, maybe just as a human sometimes. And so I just don't be understanding. Like, okay, let's say a person it let's say a person is a man or a woman, but they feel another way. How y'all doing? But, you know, they meet somebody and they don't tell them, okay, I feel this way. I've changed my appearance to look a certain way, but I was born this way. If you don't tell them that, then hold on, let me see. Deliberately cause someone to believe something that is not true. They walked up intending to think that you were a man or a woman, and they were deceived. And so I was watching Cheaters last night, and I said to myself, this cannot be real. This cannot be real. Like a woman that, like, I don't know, man. I don't know what was going on in her life, but she was a lesbian woman, and she was on Cheaters because she was like in showing a picture of somebody else, but she was a woman impersonating a man. And my thing is, hold on, let me read that again. Let me read that again. The definition of deceive is deliberately cause someone to believe something that is not true, especially for personal gain. You want to attract love from this person, but you don't want to tell them who you are. So my thing is, everything that is not built on firm foundation will go away, will wash away. It's like building a man, say, man, baby, I built a house for you. I marry you, baby. And then you get to the house, it's a sandcastle. You like, we can't live in this. When it rain, the rain gonna melt the house. Where you like, no, man, no. We use good sand from the beach. We didn't pack it in or nothing, but we built it. It's not on a firm foundation. So when the wind come, the heavy wind come, I don't like anyway. If it's not built on firm foundation, man, it's gonna fall. So anything that is built on a lie it's already started with bad intentions. And sometimes people come in, they say, oh man, well, I didn't intend for it to get out of hand like this. Well, intentions, let me tell you something about intentions. Um, they said the road to hell was paved on good intentions. So somebody can have good intentions, but still have it deceive somebody into believing something that can ruin their life. Like imagine that person online on Cheetahs, they done fell in love. They've given their love or heart and mind to someone. They talk to this person every day. And you thinking that this person is some way. You have them in their mind this one way, and then you see them and they not even a man. It's a notable woman. You can tell it is a woman that is taking some type of estrogen pill to get some muscles and become a man. That's what it looked like. But hold on, let me read this again. What's going on, people? How y'all doing? Let me read this again. The definition of deceive is deliberately, boy, I need to look that word up. Let me look up deliberately after I read this again. Deliberately cause someone to believe something that is not true, especially for personal gain. Let's go to deliberately. Let's be well read and well studied at what we do, man. Let's see. Deliberate. Let's go to deliberate. Deliberately means something done intentionally, on purpose, or with careful, unhurried thought, rather than accidentally or hastily. Y'all got that? Y'all got that? So now let's run it back to the other thing. Let's run it back to deception. Deliberately cause someone to believe something that is not true, especially for personal gain. Imagine in the future, we're going to find out some things that were stamped into our heads that were true. And in the future, we're going to find out that they are not true. And not only are they not true, somebody made big personal gain from having this particular title. That's what we're going to find out. My good people, I want y'all to know that. And it's going to be a big thing of deception. People will feel deceived. Oh my God, how could we have been tricked like this? It's like having a husband or a wife, and after 10 years, you find out they've been cheating the whole 10 years. You'd be like, hold on. You tricked me into believing that you was a good person, that you was holding it down, and now I'm deceived. I like when you deceive, then it's somebody on the other end that gets deceived. But let me read the definition of deceive again. Deliberately cause someone to believe something that is not true, especially for personal gain. But let me read what the word deliberately means. Let's see what deliberately means. Yup. We just had that on. Yeah, deliberately means, and this is the first word in deceive. Deliberately means something done intentionally, on purpose, or with carefully unhurried thoughts. That doesn't mean that it was done like they was mad. They just came and did something to you. No, they took some time. Unhurried thoughts rather than accidentally or hastily. Like when you do something accidentally, like I bump into you accidentally and I apologize. But sometimes some people just don't like you for some reason and they just come bump you on purpose to see if they can get a scream about you or something. Deliberately. Words mean something and words have power, man. And so when we're learning about things that are deceptive, um, and people are deceived, this causes people to have low spirit. This causes people to commit suicide. This causes all types of things when we're dealing with deception. It causes murder when people are deceived. Um, it causes unnatural thoughts, like people that used to think good of themselves. They feel like you feel like you tricked, man. Like imagine somebody, you feel like somebody tricked you out of your whole life. Like imagine you thought your parents were one way, and then one day you wake up and they say, "No, no, your dad is this guy," and then they got a whole 60 minutes, and they'd be like, "Hold on, this is my parents. Whoa, whoa, what was going on? This is not my parents. What's happening?" You feel deceived. Like, no, this is not my mom and dad. No, if that happened to you, you would feel deceived as a child into thinking that your parents were one way when really it's another way. And deception works in so many ways, man. It can destroy people. And the thing is, sometimes um, the person that's doing the deceptive thing, they might pass on, and the name that they carry might stain the children. So the deception might have missed them, so they might have skipped the deception, like, oh, I got that. I done passed it on, made it to the afterlife and lived a good life of deception. And then the other girlfriend that he didn't put a wedding ring on, she show up to the funeral too. And then you, as a wife that thought your husband was holding it down. Man, I remember I was in the military, man. It was this young man. And he stayed close to the base we was at. We was out there in Georgia, and we stayed close to the base. He stayed close to the base. I was from Houston, so he stayed close to the base out there in Georgia. And we used to go back to his hometown back and forth. And I got to meet his parents, meet his, his people and all his friends and stuff because that was neighborhood down the street. And so one day, man, this dude came to work, man, and he just had like a blank stare in his face, man, like he had seen a ghost. And like the whole day, he just wouldn't talk to nobody, wouldn't say nothing. And I'm just like, what's wrong with this guy? What's going on? He found out not only did his father cheat on his mom, but his father also had a whole nother family on the other side of this particular town. Whole nother family. Kids, he had like a son damn near the same age as him. He felt deceived by his father. Deception works in so many ways, people. We got to think about the things that we do, man. It can rub off on our offspring, man. Deception. When we deceive, man, like when people are in marriages and you think, man, I talked to a guy over the Christmas break, man. This guy said he's been married 11 years. And just through instance, going on a trip, he found out that his wife had been cheating the whole 11 years. just going on a natural trip to go take care of business. He found out his wife had been cheating on him for 11 years. Whole marriage. They was married 11 years, cheating 11 years. There's so many, like the horror stories I hear from men about marriage. And I say to myself, my God, marriage can break people in two, man. Turn a good person into a bad person. Especially if you find out through time, if you've invested so much into a marriage and you find out you've been deceived, man, it turn you to a bad person, man. Make you do something that will be out of your character. That's why we be finding out so many people. I remember I worked overseas, man. I worked for KBR overseas, man. There's so much going on over there. It was crazy. It was like you had this base and so much was going on the base, you know. But the base was small. We was in Iraq, man. And this guy was having relations with this lady out there. They had formed a relationship. And they, you know, hanging out after work. Well, this young man decided to start hunching on another lady on the other side of the base, and he thought that they would never meet. The thing is, the base is small and everybody hang out at the same place. And that lady found out he was cheating. Not only did she bleach all of his clothes because she was deceived into thinking that this man was building something with her, but he was cheating with another woman. So she bleached all his clothes. Not only did she bleach all of his clothes, she told the people after she had bleached his clothes, she called leadership and said, hey, this all the stuff he been stealing out of the mailroom. The guy worked in the mailroom. So she called all the people over, all the MPs over, and they arrested old boy. She got fired for messing up his property. So imagine a relationship, emotions get involved, one person deceives the other, both of them get fired, both of them lose $100,000. Jobs over there paying at minimum $100,000. And these people out there cutting a fool. Money don't change bad behavior. It only exposes more of what it is. If you're a person if you're deceiving someone's heart, man, you want to get married to a woman just to, use her for her talents, man, or you want to get with a man to use him for his resources and then you throw him away. Like that deception, man, that thing can break somebody, man, and turn them into a person that they are not, and then force them to make a decision to do something that would not be in their nature to do. That's what deception does. And I know I done went pretty lengthy on this, but I'm just explaining in detail, man, how deception, so this is what people don't explain. It's cause and its effect, man. It's cause and its effect. When you deceive someone, you don't get to control what happens on the effect side. If this person start wringing your neck, that's what happens. If they let you pass and be like, you know what, I'm just going on about my business. Count your blessings. But deception, you don't get to control deception on the other side. There's some people in jail right now. Deception. Peace out, my good people.